believe it.
Surfboard stick.
I'm not new to this. I am, as the kids say, true to this.
Oh, good
All
Lord.
right, here we go. Welcome back to the Unanimous Decision Podcast. I am your host, D-Palm. Follow me on Twitter at DPalm66. Follow the entire show on Twitter at UDPod. Follow the entire MTR Network at, you guessed it, the MTR Network. You found us. Don't you dare lose us. Subscribe on iTunes. Subscribe on Spotify. Subscribe on, that's right, YouTube, dragging this podcast into 2015, one day at a time. Everything you hear is brought to you, of course, by DanielPaulMortgages.com. If you can pay your rent, you can pay a mortgage. It's my job to help you qualify. Check out Life, Love, and Real Estate. Episode 9 is out now. We're recording episode 10, I guess, when you're hearing this. I guess so tomorrow we're recording it. We're talking about legacy and kind of what home ownership can mean for that and what the things that we leave behind. And so I'm very excited to have that conversation with my pod partner, LaCressa Morrow. But yeah, we ain't talking real estate today. We got Nata here. We're talking NBA Finals, kick everything off. Nata, the NBA Finals are all the way back. Like your digitally malleable advertising on the court, it can change.
Oh, jeez.
You need it to be.
Jeez.
That's my
shout out to ESPN for doing possibly the laziest thing. You might as well have just done clip art on the court. You just might as well have gone that. Just do clip art next time.
It was the only reason I have no dog in this hunt is because in game 1, it was a Fantastic Four ad.
Fair.
And as someone who is irrationally excited for that movie,
me and you both, bud. Me and you both.
I'm good. That and Superman. It's gonna be a good nerd summer. And I've heard, okay, if you found me via Character Corner or via any of the other nerdy MTR offerings, we're working on it. There's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes. Nata's aware of one of the new things I'm trying to bring out. It's a lot because I've got like a life outside of this place.
If he actually pulls off what I think he's going to pull off and what he's talked to me about pulling off, let me put it this way: I might go about 5 shows without insulting this man.
And that's how you know I've oversold. That is a great tell on me having oversold this idea. But no, let's be real. The finals are back, bro. We're not going to engage with the fakies. Let's engage with the ball. Like, I got to ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
Did game 2 make you look at game 1 differently?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Like, to me, it always felt like OKC was the dominant team.
Mm-hmm.
I do think that game 1 was a lesson. Mm-hmm. I do think that this lesson was you cannot allow the Indiana Pacers to breathe. Ever. And you have to have the depth to make sure that they're dead. Now, mind you, it takes about 10, 11 guys for that to happen. But again, shout out to the Indiana Pacers who have come up with a style that is not only like effective, but it's fun to watch.
And I think that's a lot of it for me is that it is such their style of play where it's 5 out. Everyone can shoot. And I liked in game 1 how that kind of played Chet off the court. He also wasn't great in the minutes he played. Like, it's not like he was dominating. It's one of the reasons that people, when people were like, "Oh, the Lakers don't have enough size to compete in the West," and I go, my brain was always like, "You mean they don't have enough shooting?" Because yes, you may have size on the inside, but if I am devoted to this 3-point life, that size is not going to affect me as much as you think it might. And so I think from the chess match perspective on the coaching wise, it's going to be interesting to see game 3, first game in Indianapolis, how the Carlisle experience manifests itself.
The thing is, I think Carlisle's got like one more move. I don't know what the move is. I think he's got one more. And then I think it's checkmate because I think OKC is just so dominant.
That's my thing is that I think he may have more than one. The thing is, his move might be like a set that the Celtics ran in like 1998. Like he is so good at this.
Yeah.
That and watching him evolve, we'll talk about that in a second. Watching him
dude.
Because this is a very different Carlisle. No. But let's talk about the team that did do the blowout in game 2.
Yes.
I came to a realization watching him hit like the 18th mid-range. It's that SGA is Kobe if Kobe was a nice person.
He's Canadian Kobe. That's
what
the
if
real
Kobe
Maple
was
Jordan.
A likable human being?
Yeah, no, that's Maple Jordan. That's quite literally Maple Jordan. We gave it to Andrew Wiggins and we
really
messed up.
weird.
We can take that back.
This motherfucker's taking like 30 shots in back-to-back playoff games.
Like here's the thing. Like, Paul, this is my favorite part of this. Is that if you're an old head and you're saying they don't play it like they used to, they don't do this like they used to. And again, I don't like these newfangled players, and you don't like SGA, you're full of shit. You're telling me you don't watch. That's essentially what it is.
He was on that tear in the middle of game 2, and I realized like it was I thought I saw Kobe. I was like, oh, that's Kobe Bryant. That's it. He's the thing that kept me from as long from getting there is that he's such a nice guy.
Yeah.
So it precluded me
ever. Remember, he's Canadian. He's Canadian.
I know
that's
there are a
why.
lot of asshole Canadians. The NHL is full of them.
Fair.
So I just think that it's interesting that like the fact that he's been a good person precluded me from ever seeing him as Kobe Bryant. But this Jason Tatum, this is what you're supposed to have done. This is what you're supposed to look like.
Yeah, that's it. But also, it's one of those things like, what if Jason Tatum actually learned from Chris Paul? Like that's SGA
thing. Yeah.
That's SGA. Yeah. Like say what you want about Chris Paul and everything else like that. And that man will teach you. That man will learn
how to hit someone else in the nuts.
Well, there's that. But again, that's like quite literally like that man studied at the knee of Chris Paul for a year and then had tutelage. Well, no, was that Doc or was that Ty Lue? No, that was Doc. Never mind.
Yeah, never mind.
But you see where I'm going with this. Like, this is what happens when you get real veteran leadership, and it's not one of those things where they try to accelerate the timeline like they did in Boston.
So let's talk about the other side, the Pacers. They're playing with house money now. Like, sorry guys, like say what you want. Like they've been great since the new year. I'm not going to argue with facts, but what I will say is that that's a machine on the Thunder sideline. And so right now,
that's an anomaly.
This is house money. Yeah. Do we think this new Carlisle's a gambler? For people who are like, what new Carlisle? Rick Carlisle won an NBA title in 2011. You can never take that away from him. He has not won a playoff series.
Nope.
Until last year, I think it was.
Yep.
So, like, there's been some stuff's happened.
There's been some regression, we could call it.
Rick Carlisle won a title in 2011. No one can ever take that away from him. He did that. Didn't win another playoff series till last year. And this is a man who used to literally make JKidd look to the sideline and get play calls. Now, at the end of game 1, he's trusting the level of trust that this team has earned from that guy makes me think he might have more options than we think.
That's fair. That's absolutely fair because I just wonder, like, if your entire style is we're going to put pressure on you offensively to make the right defensive reads for 48 minutes, that works against this shallow Knicks team. That works against a hurt Cavs team. That works against the Doc and the Bucks. I'm not sure that works against a 10-11 deep squad in OKC that has basically everybody that can play.
Your worst defender is the 6'6" point guard.
Yeah.
Rutro Raggy. We've got problems because you're right. The Pacers' point creation is predicated on you not being able to keep up and you eventually making a mistake.
Yeah.
And the Thunder are like, but what if we don't make any mistakes?
Or what if we're good enough to where the mistakes are minimized and you just wear out before we do?
Man, I'm excited for game 3. I called this Thunder in 5 when it started. I was very, very excited after game 1. I think that it's one of those games that's going to be remembered forever, no matter how the series ends. Halliburton's on the historic
It could be
run.
the AI. It could be like the AI game. It could be the 2001.
As an Iverson fan.
I know, but it could be the 2001 finals. How about that? It could be a 2001 finals situation. We can't call it the AI, but we can call it the 2001 finals. It's semantics, I understand, but it's important.
But it helps me. I do feel better about it. I'm not going to lie.
Okay. That's all we're trying to do here.
So you and I haven't talked in a while.
No, we have not.
Can we talk about Thibs now? Like,
Man,
I told you they were fire him. Man, I was like, hey man, he's about to get fired. I was like, no,
I didn't think
he
they
made
would
the comments
do it.
fine. I know you didn't.
I
You're
didn't think
on
they would
this.
do it.
You're on these airwaves saying they wouldn't, and I was like, hey man,
I
they're
didn't
gonna
think they
fire.
would. I didn't think they would. The problem, like, here's the thing though, and this is the crazy part about this is, who are they hiring?
No. That is the next bullet point on my list. We're talking about Thibs.
Like, I'm surprised. I am. I'm legitimately surprised because I thought they would, especially with the extension, but apparently,
you know why I'm surprised?
Why?
Because it's the right decision.
Fair.
I'm shocked.
Do you know who made the right decision though on this?
Leon.
Right? No.
Les?
No. Higher.
Who?
Higher.
Not Jimmy.
Allegedly, Jimmy came in from concert and had an exit meeting with all of them. And then once, apparently it was Mikal Bridges that told him, like, Jimmy was the one that made the call. That's the word on the street.
Have you ever watched The Office? You ever watched the show The Office?
On occasion, yes.
There is a character named Creed Bratton who wanted to have a blog, and they decided it was too dangerous for his thoughts to be in the world. So they gave him a Word document and said, this is your blog called Creed Thoughts. I thought Jim Dolan had the Creed Thoughts version of being able to access this team. Too much had gone right.
Allegedly, that man was the one that made the
I
call.
don't like my allies on the fire. I want to just get that one out there immediately. Don't love my allies. God, that's ugly. That's not great.
No, it's not.
I'll say this. He had to be fired. This was you can't say he maximized the roster because we just don't know. We never saw the roster at play at any point this season. We never saw variation on starting lineups until he cracks in the Eastern Conference Finals, which to me was the moment he was fired. The moment you say, "Oh, I could have been valuable this whole time," I was being obstinate to the point of some would say,
"Look, like
insubordination."
Like, honestly, the thing that bugs me the most is, like, you see this work, like a 9-10 man rotation, quite literally work perfectly to steal games, and then it begs the question: where was this all season? Does Jalen Brunson miss as much time if this is a thing? If this is
it's an admission that your way is wrong.
Yeah,
it is. He got fired because remarkably a lack of ego. His ability to acquiesce in the playoffs showed he had the capacity to change, and that up to this point he just refused, and so that got him fired.
As it should have, though.
But the thing is, he could have not changed it, and he would have gotten fired for they had to fire him. The only end point of this thing was him being fired.
That's also true. Yeah.
So
it had to go. He had to
go. And I love the Knicks fans with the oh, it's the best we had in 20 years. Yeah. And this is the best it's ever going to get with that guy at the helm.
But also at the same point, like, I do have questions about, hey.
We're going to talk about the hire in a second. I have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
The exit interview thing is very funny.
Yes.
Because if they interviewed these players, did Jalen Brunson get his daddy fired?
No. No chance.
Oh, okay. Then am I a coach? You're going to tell me who my staff is?
Yep.
Wow.
This is a Eastern Conference Finals team that you're taking over. If you're the coach of the New York Knicks and you get them to the finals, you are legendary. So go ask Jeff Van Gundy. You ain't got to do anything else.
So the legend in question, the one that is rumored, the front runner everyone's talked about, JKidd.
It's such a disaster. It's such a disaster hire.
No. It's not a disaster hire. It will be a disaster acquisition because there's only 3 ways this can happen. Trade. Dallas can tell you to go fuck yourself. Dallas can re-up JKidd, who they just gave an extension to try to convince him to stay and to not even entertain the thoughts. Or, do you know the last time a coach was traded for picks?
Was it John Gruden?
No. It was Jason Kidd from the Nets to the Bucks for 2 second rounders.
That's right. That's right.
He has personal precedence here.
Oh, wow. Okay. Okay, then. Dog.
It would be
This feels
the
like,
goddamn funniest thing in the world.
dude, I personally, I don't get it. Like, do
No.
you understand? Like, as the guy that, like, can we be honest? We
Be
all know
honest.
who,
No
like,
one's listening.
we all know who Windhorse's source in the Dallas locker room was, right? We all understand who that was, right?
Yes. Yes.
So
We
what
also
happened?
understand that everywhere he's ever left has been on bad terms.
Yeah,
Except for the Lakers assistants gig, which I'm convinced we just don't know what happened.
yeah,
but he won that
I
ring and
think
got out peacefully.
I think they told him he had no job. I'm fairly certain he was told he had no future as a job. Like, there's a, like, what happens? Because if you bring in Jason Kidd to coach this team,
Mm-hmm.
Cat's gone, right? Like, you have to move Cat, right? Like, you have to.
I think it's super funny. Cat's gotten Thibs fired 2 times in 6 years.
See, that's the thing. I'm not sure. I can't blame Cat for this one. Cat tried. Cat did the most that I thought he could do.
Cat was Cat. Cat's existence got him fired.
Fair.
Also, I think that Cat doesn't like Thibs. I think that's another thing. I think it's also like Cat don't like this dude. Which is why when they built this team around these like very much Thibs archetypical players, and they're like, oh, they kind of, you know, the what's the buddy who they gave all the picks for?
Oh, Mikal Bridges?
The Bridges trade, I was like, I don't like it. I think it's a dumb trade, but I see what they're trying to do. And then they give up more to get a player who does not fit that mold at all, who's proven he didn't fit that mold at all with past activity, and you tell Thibs to figure it out. Like, you could say they set him up to fail by bringing in Cat.
Yes, but I also think at some point, like, this is the thing that bugs me the most about where this is headed, because, and I'm trying to slow this down, but think about it like this.
Okay.
If you are the future head, if let's say it's Jason Kidd and you are Karl Anthony Towns, the minute you miss a defensive assignment, do you know who's going to know about it? The New York Post, the Daily News, Newsday, ESPN, maybe even Fox News. Are us good folks at CBS Sports. Everybody's going to have, again, Jason's Kidd is going to leak that to everybody. Like, you have to, like, there are certain guys that you absolutely have to trade now. And if you're a player there, the last thing I want is my coach having this much access to quite literally get me to the media to get me fired or get me roasted and display their displeasure with me. I mean, it's the thing that everybody hates about Doc. If we're going to be real about it, it's the same thing.
But no one can talk about it because everyone loves him in the media.
Well, yeah, there's that.
There's that.
So,
Because they know that if things go wrong, he's right here back on the dais with us. He's one of us.
Yeah. Like, that's the thing. Like, this, if you're a player and Jason Kidd comes in, I might like New York. I might ask for a trade. That might be me. Just me.
But I mean, that's a lack of foresight that could only be
New York Knicksian and New York Knicksian. Lack of foresight. New York Knicksian.
I do believe his name is Jim Dolan.
Yeah,
I do believe we know he's the guy in the hot dog costume. We're trying to find out who did this.
Exactly.
I would love nothing more in the world than for Jason Kidd to end up coaching this team and having them miss the playoffs. It would bring me joy on a level I can't accurately describe.
So
because those Knick fans who've been so loud the last 2 years are going to be louder and way more entertaining.
Yeah.
They're going to have a statue of Thibs built outside made out of fucking picnic.
They're going to have an effigy of that man by Christmas if they hire Jason Kidd. Christmas.
And Jim Dolan will have them all banned from the Garden, possibly arrested.
Yeah. Now here's the other question though. Here's a bigger, and this is going to take us down a tangent that I'm not sure I thought prepared. But so what happens when Jason Kidd leaves the building and Nico Harrison and crew and Patrick Dumas decide to say, hey, yeah, Jason Kidd was in on getting rid of Luka too?
No. Because guess what? Before he lands in New York, he's already texted his boy at the Times. He's got lunch with the dude from the Post. He's hollering at the like. You think that Nico Harrison's Nike backroom profile is bigger than Jason Kidd in New York fucking City?
Fair.
We make it a tell-all sit down with a soft focus talking about how he was blindsided by the trade too.
Actually, I could actually see that.
That's
exactly.
Jason,
no, because here's the thing. Here's the thing. So if that's going to be the case, who's the one that does the sit down? Because it's got to be a sit down with Malika Andrews, right?
You fool. You fool. It's Taylor Rooks.
Ooh, yeah, for
Taylor
Amazon.
Rooks.
For Amazon.
It's a layup. Let's go make some money.
Yeah.
Jason, holler the player.
Yeah.
Got you. The Jason Kidd, New York Knicks coach rollout. That's phase
It'll be
one,
the only
Jason.
media.
I got you.
Yeah, and it's the only media the Knicks will ever do.
Jason,
this summer.
We're going to run training camp at Columbia. Levin Gym. Let's go. Let's go, Jason.
Oh, boy.
Run the city.
This is so diabolical, and it's absolutely going to work.
It's not even diabolical. It has a negative connotation. I don't know how you intend it. It sounds negative.
It is negative.
No,
we know how this ends.
Well,
we know how this ends.
We might as well be entertained on the way there, huh?
Fair. But we know how this ends.
Something I don't know how it's going to end.
Mm-hmm.
Look, I'm me. I'm a competition junkie.
Mm-hmm.
And this time of year is one of my favorite times of year because obviously NBA Finals, but Nata. Stanley Cup Final, baby. A rematch from last year?
Dog.
2 overtime games, dog.
Here's the question I have for you.
I love it so much.
Is Connor McDavid the most like the athlete that's clearly got the biggest gap between him as the best in the world at his sport and number 2? Is there any sport?
Nata, and it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Because this Panthers team
is a machine.
They just hit you.
Yeah.
It is run through a motherfucking face, put on ice.
If
Marshawn Lynch, ice capades. That is the Panthers.
So what you're telling me is if you became a 24/7 hockey fan, the Florida Panthers.
No.
Okay.
No. I would have to do. I am historically a Red Wings fan.
Okay.
First hockey game I ever saw was before the Russian 5, so it was the year they stank.
Oh, that's
so it imprinted on me. I was like, oh, this is fun. Mm-hmm. And then next year, like Eisenman and the boys show up, and I'm like, oh, this is fun. And the team I like is killing people.
Yes, exactly.
This is great.
Oh boy.
Yeah, insufferable. The Russian 5. I could talk for days. But yeah, there's a game going on right now. It is currently 2-1 Panthers. The Oilers just scored at the beginning of the second period. Very excited to see the end of this. They had me all through double overtime last time with Marchand at the finish. Watching Brad Marchand play for the Panthers is weird. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, especially after the antagonist Brad Marchand, who's been Boston through and through for God knows how long.
What if Michael Jordan, and I'm not making anyone on the Panthers Jordan, but what if that Bulls team had to overcome the Pistons, and then Dennis Rodman immediately joined the Bulls? Like this is what the Bruins were like their boogeyman, and then at the end they're like, you know what? You guys ain't half bad. You guys ain't half bad. Like it's just
exactly.
If I can change and you can change, Rocky.
Everybody can change. Everybody.
Brad Marchand, if they win a cup, he's got to give that speech. That's why.
And I want to thank my kid who should be sleeping at home.
Oh God.
We watch entirely too many movies.
We're again competitionaholics, and you put one on screen.
Fair. Fair.
I'm not going to talk about college football yet because I'm not ready, but I do want to say this: the NCAA ruling came out. Listen very closely. Nothing is going to change. There are going to be so many lawsuits to fight this. You know why nothing's going to change?
Because
do you honestly know why?
Because you're not telling rich people no.
More than that.
Why is it not going to change?
Who represents the players?
Fair. Nobody.
So this is one of the things that happened during COVID that I tried to point out, and no one cared because it's me yelling at my podcast, talking to my friends. But if you want to sound smart in your conversations about this, here's a point you can use. I think that's why I should rename my podcast. A point you could use to sound smart sometimes.
That's an easy social clip, actually.
When COVID killed the Nebraska Players Union.
Ooh, yeah.
That was the moment the players lost. And you can say, oh, but they've got X, they got Y. Cool. Go back and look at what the Nebraska Players Union was asking for. Healthcare beyond 22, like it was supposed to extend for 4 years after you're finished playing. Right now, healthcare ends a year after you finish playing. Any college football.
Yeah.
Ongoing care, better get a job, buddy, because you're about to lose medical insurance.
Mm-hmm. Good luck getting it, too, afterwards.
Hey, pre-existing conditions, what's good? They're like, I love the fact that someone's finally like, hey, man, without a backup left guard, there is no game. Maybe we should pay all of them. But now you've entered the sticky wicket of, if we're paying them, aren't they employees?
Which they're trying to fight still stupidly.
They're going to, I'm sorry, have you missed what country we live in? This isn't exactly a pro-labor nation.
Here's the thing.
Particularly when the labor looks the way it does on the college football field.
I agree. I'm saying a lot of their problems, like, and again, I know you agree with me on this.
Oh.
A lot of the quote unquote problems.
Yes.
That college athletes and college football and college basketball fans say that they have, a lot of the quote unquote problems die with employment. They all go away.
But you know what that does?
That means you actually have to pay people.
No,
God forbid.
No. It's a whole new suite of what we like to call new problems.
Fair.
Employment is a panacea and a silver bullet for you and me who wants to see this thing get solved. But what if we don't want to see it get solved?
Fair.
What if we have a financial and reputational benefit to it never being solved?
But here's the thing.
What if it's worth paying these lawyers to fight this thing so that we don't get it solved?
What is it actually worth the legal fee?
Thing is only as valuable as someone will pay for it.
Fair.
Whether you and I think it's worth it, their calculus is completely different. Their calculus is fear of the unknown tomorrow.
Yes.
That's a very, as we've seen in this country,
a very real thing.
A very dangerous calculus.
That is a very dangerous. Yep. Shout out to the 2012 election, 2016 election.
Shout out to the alleged 2028 election. Just talking NFL for a second. And I'm not going to talk about what you think I'm going to talk about. Because I want to talk about Nick Chubb to the Texans. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Guys, you can't. These are the deals that everyone's like, oh, this is a little thing. No, this is a very big problem.
Because he's healthy. He's going to use what's left. And now CJ Stroud has to throw 25 to 30 times instead of 45.
You just made CJ Stroud's life easier. You fools. This is the junior varsity version of giving Lamar Jackson Derrick Henry.
And isn't Joe Mixon still in that backfield, if I'm not mistaken?
Let's take a look.
I'm fairly certain.
I'm on the Texans roster page. 1 second, please.
I'm fairly certain he is.
Joe Mixon is still back there.
Yeah. So now you have Nick Chubb in a spot role.
Third down, Nick Chubb.
Yeah.
I hope you're all very happy with what you've done with yourselves.
Yes.
I hope. Hey, AFC. What is it? The AFC South. Let's just go.
Yeah.
Let's just do this really quickly. You know, I hadn't planned on really digging into divisions, but let's ask a question.
Yeah, Jacksonville's in trouble.
Indy, Jacksonville, and Tennessee. Well, Texans, enjoy your crown. Jesus Christ, you get to play those 3 teams twice.
12 wins, easy.
6,
easy.
I hear what you're saying.
Yeah. That's a 12-win team.
Oh, 12-win team overall? Maybe.
That's 12-win team.
That's 6 right there.
Yeah. I think they can get. I think they can get 6 more out of the other 11.
And that's all they need. God
Yeah.
bless America. You fools.
Yeah.
You fools. Now let's talk about the thing I didn't want to talk about. Because while the two most fragile men in America and beyond were fighting in public.
Yeah.
Nata, I don't fight in public, and I'm nobody.
Yeah.
I see people I personally dislike thrive every day.
Exactly.
Sometimes, dog, I got a text. You never listen. Fuck it. I got a text today about somebody's 40th birthday.
Uh-oh.
Somebody I don't necessarily kick it with.
I'm about to say, it ain't mine because I'm 42. So there's that.
All I could think was,
you hope he chokes on the cake?
No. Was call me for the funeral. Birthday. We're hustling backwards, kids.
Yeah, that's fair. I got you.
I'm 40 this year. Don't, hey, staring down the barrel. We're getting to it.
Yep.
But a man who's also 40. I think he's older than 40 now. Well, he's 40 in human years, and who knows how old in the years.
The ayahuasca years, yeah.
Aaron Rodgers is a Steeler. What do you think about this?
Boy. I hope Mike Tomlin enjoys his job with NBC next year. That's what I think. That's exactly what I think.
That was my immediate reaction was, oh, they're really trying to fire this nigga. Like that's
like that's the only answer. That's the only thing it can be.
You don't really want to get rid of him that fucking bad? Just ask him to leave. Shit.
Like, dog, like again, it's not even it's okay. Okay, it's one thing if you don't believe in Shadur Sanders, you're not gonna draft, but you didn't draft a single quarterback. Like the options that you have.
Well, so that's the other part is that this was always gonna happen.
Yeah.
Because there was no way on God's green earth that again he would look at Mason Rudolph and like, well, here we go. But between Aaron Rodgers and Arthur Smith, like, yeah, it's a rough life for a Steelers fan. That's been a rough life for Felder. Felder's pops is a Steelers fan, and I heard about that Wayne album, and he was very excited about that.
Oh yeah. I haven't texted him about that.
No, I'm doing it on the air. I refuse. I'm not going to bring it up. I'm not going to bring it up at the pre-show. I'm not going to text him about it. But Thursday when we sit down, it's going to be one of the first things I say to his ass. And I'm going to get his reaction on camera.
Oh, boy.
It's going to be
I can't wait.
Perfect. It's going to be
I can't wait.
I
cannot wait.
I'm salivating already. Got a bunch of shit to do Thursday too. Yeah, Aaron Rodgers, he's a Steeler.
Yeah.
Thoughts, concerns. Look, man, you brought in DK Metcalf.
The problem, yeah.
The question now is structurally, how much more stable are the Steelers than the Jets?
If only by Mike Tomlin, a decent amount.
But like, let's do this again. Let's do this. Let's do the division game again. Best case scenario, they're third place in the division.
Okay. I'm trying to think. Let's see.
Bengals, Ravens?
Man, let me see if they actually pay Trey Hendrickson first. Let me go.
Look, I'm betting on this is one of those off years where Joe Burrow plays all the games. So
like that's the thing. Like I let me see what happens because I see Mike Brown looking at it like, oh, we getting enough of a return on this, baby, to where I'm not paying anything else for this. Everyone, again, I got T. Higgins, I got Burrow, I got Chase. That's it. That's all the money I'm giving out.
That's better than anything the Steelers are rolling out there.
Fair. At some point, there though, like the defense is going to need some attention.
I'm sure they will. Steelers are getting broken Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers put up similar numbers to their starter last year, Russell Wilson, except Russell Wilson was playing good teams with something to win, and he was playing bad teams with nothing to win. And so, like, the ceiling on it, like, let's put aside his views on the world and the collected evidence that we had that he's actually a reprehensible human being. Put all that aside for a second. He's just not very good anymore.
No, I agree, which is why I found it very interesting that they felt comfortable jettisoning off Russell Wilson. Like that's the thing that I was like, You got rid of Russell Wilson, who was okay for you, and it just was old and wore down, for another guy who was old and even more worn down. Like that was like, it's at some point you had to go and do something, give up some real assets for a quarterback. Like me personally, now here's the question I would have for you. Would you have rather gone after Kirk Cousins than Aaron Rodgers?
So you're like ahead of the game. You're reading my screen, man. That was my question to you. I personally, 6 one way, half dozen the other. The only thing I do know is that Kirk in a locker room, I know he's not disruptive.
Yeah.
I know Aaron is. And it feels like the first year of Aaron, you get good Aaron. Like first year with the Jets, I guess until the third.
Again, it wasn't a first. About to say first year. It was the first half.
I take it back. I have no idea. Then I'm giving him. I'm writing this bit right now. The whitest thing in America is the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
Because, hey man, Aaron out here getting his homeboys jobs, and then they're leaving unimpressed.
Yeah.
Where is he next year?
I don't think he's in the league after this year.
No, the Rams.
Nah.
Devonta Adams.
Oh yeah, Devonta Adams. Yeah.
He's a Ram now.
Yes, he is.
And you're going to see what an old man with a live arm can do with him next year.
Yeah, dude. We talk about like side like upgrades. Like they took washed Cooper Kupp, and they were like, okay, Cooper, we got Puka right here. Devonta Adams, come on down. Hey, you like LA?
Hustle Hall of Fame, Devonta Adams turned the Raiders into the Rams, baby, in less than a season.
Exactly.
Hustler Hall of Fame.
Absolutely.
But yeah, those are some things. Mini camps are coming up this week. It's not going to be optional shit. James Cook is seeking the extension for the Bills.
Yeah.
I'm a dog fan. He's a good dog. Pay the man.
Of course. As they should.
Have they not learned anything? Like I know they would pick up some receivers, but like this team goes when Josh Allen is free, and Josh Allen is free when he has a running game. Not when he has to be the running game.
Here's the thing. If Buffalo was going to improve upon, like learn from their lessons, would you think they would not have gotten better at the tush push last year?
Let's go to New England just because I'm messy. Stephon Diggs. Brother.
That man is having himself an off season.
Brother. There's no reason to film it.
No.
What you trying to prove? You Stephon Diggs, man. Have you seen the edit that's going around?
Which one?
Stephon Diggs working out.
Oh, I think
cuts to Offset working out, and it's just
no.
First of all, everyone's journey starts somewhere. You know, good on Offset for getting his health right. Why would you film that?
No, you don't.
I hope it's AI. That as I'm saying now, I hope it's AI.
Man, look.
Can I explain to everyone why these rappers act weird when NFL player or athletes at all get with their ladies? Can I just explain it really quickly, Nata?
You mean besides the fact that they have guaranteed money?
That's the reason. Because the money's real. It's widely reported on.
Yep.
It is a matter of public record. Reporters have to get 2 sources before confirming a contract number.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, your favorite rapper is a 360 deal. I'm just kidding.
Enough about Wayne today. Enough about
Wayne.
Hey,
That made me really, 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 really sad. Do you think Trey Hendrickson shows up?
No, I don't know. That's a tough one. I got to think about that one for a little bit.
Jamar held out until training camp last year. So there's precedence.
I think we second week of August feels right.
Okay.
Second week of August.
Did you hear Anthony Richardson's hurt again?
I did.
Okay.
We both know who the backup quarterback is, right?
Buddy. I didn't know till I started doing a little research for this episode. For those of you who don't know, save yourself a Google. I'm going to tell you, but look dead at me. 1, 2, 3. Daniel Jones. I was as shocked as you are right now.
That was such a. We want to make sure that nobody complains about Anthony Richardson no more.
That's like having a black backup, baby. That is insurance for your ass. My God.
We don't like the way Anthony Richardson carries himself. Okay.
Damn sure he played. He knows everybody. There's an old Chappelle stand up when he talked about being the first black president and his vice president, Santiago. Keep him safe. Y'all pathetic. That's what it feels like. Real kind of coverage there. What else? I think that's Micah Parsons is like he missed OTAs. He's probably going to minicamp. They need news. They probably told him to skip OTAs so they get some news.
No, we all know Jerry does this intentionally to keep the Cowboys in the headlines. We all know this at this point. Like he'll sign.
Two more before I get to the thing that you and I are going to talk about, and that's Mr. Ron the Truth Killings.
Yes.
Hustle Hall of Fame.
Yes.
1. When do I get my reality show, The Cleveland Browns Quarterback Room?
I feel like this should be something that Bleacher Report, if they have any money left.
There's a clip of Shador asking Joe Flacco if he knew a dance on the field. Joe Flacco's reply is, "I've never danced in public, I don't think." I need to be in that quarterback room. It's not a want. We've eclipsed want. I have a actual physical need to know everything that's happening.
Like the Cleveland Browns, if they're not like live streaming this, doing some Truman Show type shit with this,
there's a Brown staffer. There's a Brown staffer out there who's making roughly $15 a year. I will double that for you, sir. That in Cleveland, that can get you a 3-bedroom house, $30 in a year.
Oh, jeez.
Fuck, what you gonna do? Fight me? It's Cleveland.
Fair.
I'll double your $15 a year job if you just get me a bug in that room.
We just got to do it like the old, like I forgot the camera segments from Raw back in the day. We just need those.
Yeah. Oh, just yes, that's
just to feed.
Get Vince Russo to book.
Yeah, it's not like he's doing anything.
He is whining. Yeah. Last question. Hey, man.
Uh-oh.
Is the JJ McCarthy thing real? Because no one's ever shown me one clip of him being like some light out quarterback, and everyone says, "Oh, you know how Harbaugh does. He develops quarterbacks." And all I remember is him taking Dr. Bo and making him real ass boring. So tell me what I don't know about JJ McCarthy and why he's going to be a good quarterback in the NFL.
Sir, I don't have that answer. I am not a magic 8 ball.
The only answer was his coach, Kevin O'Connell, who I think could get me to throw for 10,000 yards.
Well, yes, that's it. But at the same point, like, I would have actually gone and gotten a real quarterback. I understand.
He had that opportunity.
He did, and he chose not to. The coaches and their control issues, man. It gets them all caught up, especially in that Shanahan system.
I was about to say, that's going to be the real rub. That's who, like, this older class of genius coaches rolls out. I realize they've all got the same flaw.
Yep, control.
Except for McVay, who got handed Matt Stafford and was like, hey, watch this, guys.
Exactly. McVay was like, you know what? I don't have to think. I'm just going to give him options.
McVay keeps flirting with retirement, too. I love that about him. He's like, I don't need this much longer. I got a ring. What the fuck you want to do?
Like, again, that guy, but again, here's the funny thing, like, because it's really interesting with that entire situation, because they feel like they are football Shangri-La and they're more enlightened than everybody else. And then you start really peeling the layers back. They're just like everybody else. Mm-hmm. It just has a LA veneer on it.
Yeah. The Panthers are up 4-1 on the Oilers.
Oh, man.
Last things before we get out of here. TJ Oshie's retiring.
Mm-hmm.
Look, one of the names that supersedes the NHL. 16 years is a long time to play that sport. So good luck and God bless to him. And did you watch the Okay, you're in sports media. Let me ask you this. Why are we not calling it the French Open anymore?
Well, here's the thing. Who's covering it? I hate to answer a question with a question, but once you say
the man whose compensation was just denied.
Yes. That's your answer. That's probably your answer. Your answer just is in that.
But why would you make it less marketable?
Sir.
It's like the alt-right guys turning down the logo most associated with them. Guys, the built-in marketing's right there.
We're talking about the same guy that, mind you, changed the name of HBO Max, 3 times?
No.
And the color scheme?
If you count going backwards, it's really only twice.
Yeah, but the color schemes changed a couple times too?
Yeah. Well, hanging on logos are interesting.
Now they're spinning off all their different ththings. TV's here. Again, Turner Sports spun off.
You and I both know where that's happening.
Yep.
Because you can't have a garage sale without parts.
Yep. We all know it's coming.
And my God, they've got parts now.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
Do you want the Warner Brothers? Do you want DC Comics? Because I think Disney might. This is like, okay,
yep, like, yeah. I knew where we go. I knew the minute I said it.
So hey, sports fans, thanks for listening. Really excited to have you here. If you guys have anyone in your life who would like here's a way to sound smart, having a conversation about this thing, podcast, please tell them to subscribe, share clips, whatever. Thank you for listening. 2 things are about to happen. I'm about to be predictable because Nata played me like a goddamn drum.
You're welcome.
It's super annoying because I know it worked. But 2, we're going to talk about a man named Ron Killings. If your answer to hearing that name is who,
it's not for you.
It's not for you. And that's fine. But if you know who K-Quick is, if you know who our truth is, I beg you to stick around. So let's do this part first.
If you know who the first black NWA champion is,
please believe it. Believe it, please. All right. So everything's for sale over at Warner Brothers, which means JLA Avengers is going to happen.
Yeah,
because Disney's going to buy it. Like I haven't said this anywhere to anyone else yet. I'm hiding it on like the last minutes of my podcast. But when Disney buys it, I can't. Can I tell you a bigger? I think Feige knew.
Why you say that?
I think Doomsday's bigger than we think.
If it's that, then we've hit nerd nirvana. There are no higher heights. There really aren't. There really aren't. If that's the case,
I don't know. I'm just spitballing.
No,
wouldn't that be?
No, but here's the thing: if you're right about this, and Feige knew, and this happens, there's once we're done with Secret Wars and all this other stuff, once we're done, we're not getting any higher. That's it. That's
at the very least, I bet we get Squadron stuff in Secret Wars.
Fair.
I think Henry Cavill as Hyperion is my dream casting.
Dude, if we get
so funny,
it would be hilarious because it'd be like, this is how you really do Superman.
This is how you want to do Dark Superman? Here, take notes. Jesus Christ.
Yes.
Mark Greenwald did this. It's been done. Hey, thanks for sticking around for this episode of UD Pod. Sorry about the technical difficulties we did have at the end there. But if you just miss anything, you miss a fantastic conversation about Ron Killings, a.k.a. Our Truth. Thanks again to Nata for coming on, being our guest. You can follow him on Blue Sky at Nata the Scribe. Make sure you follow all his work over at CBS Sports. And make sure you're back here on Friday. We're going to have Felder on, talk about the NBA Finals, talk about the NHL Finals, talk about being a dad, and probably talk about this Lil Wayne album because I'm going to terrorize him. That was your show. There is no outro. See you guys later this week.